and husky, I'm husky, flying leaf and husky, I'm husky, flying leaf and husky, yeah, that's me!
Sure, they like them now, but that ain't gonna last. To minimize the damage, we gotta work fast. This is what we gotta do to help the kids to get it. Now listen to my review, you're gonna regret it. It's husky by my side and I keep falling like chest. Real bad kids movies with help from the rest. I am fighting leaf, the kid movie cheat. To give me no grief, but you're gonna regret it.
Hi, Internet!
And welcome to You're Gonna Regret It Modern Children's Movie Review with your hosts, Fighting Leaf and Husky the Wolf. Today is a very special episode because it is hosted by the one and only Bob Show for his segment, Guest Show.
Hooray for mooching off the popularity of others!
Indeed. And now, without further ado, let's tackle one of those Halloween classics that he did in his own show, Spooky Buddies.
Yay! Wait, what?
The film starts off with a flashback to 1937 in the township of Fernfield, where we see their annual angry mob.
They're apparently after this Warwick guy who stole their puppies, who, like in Treasure Buddies, all sit perfectly still all in a row. Because real puppies totally do that.
Meet Warwick the Warlock. Yes, that is what they chose to call him here. Played by Harland Williams.
These puppy dorks are all here waiting to meet something called the Halloween Hound.
Not quite, Husky. Take a look at this thing with the subtitles on.
Halloween Hound.
The Halloween Hound?
That's how they're spelling it.
But they're just saying Halloween Hound. What's the point of spelling it all stupid if they're just gonna pronounce it the same dang way?
Hiccup.
That's not funny.
So we eventually see what this Halloween Hound is supposed to look like, and he looks like the perfect blend between creepy and derpy.
Who dares summon me?
And voiced by Diedrich Bader doing his best Keith David impersonation. Keith David? You know...
This guy?
A gargoyle doesn't whine. He roars!
Apparently they need 5 puppy souls in order to get the portal to the Netherworld opened up, and said puppies don't seem to realize that having their souls removed from their bodies and turned to stone is a bad thing!
Help! We have to find him, Dad! He's my best friend!
Thank you, small child, you are a big help. So finally, the last puppy left standing realizes that an eternity in the belly of a satanic hell beast is probably a bad thing, and decides to bolt.
Next.
Huh. Well then. I had a joke all nice and written up about how the dog was obviously just grabbing a delicious dog treat from his hand, but now that I edit this, turns out that was an actual bite. Good on you, movie. You did better than I thought you did at first glance. And now, an actual moment of stupid in this movie. Get a load of this.
You can't escape.
Wow, that is lame.
It seriously looked like he just accidentally dropped his prop and they decided to roll with it.
At last, I, the great Ebert Egbert, shall use my new latest and greatest invention, the blast perforator, to take over the world! I meant to do that! It's a surfing vehicle! Onward!
So the angry mob finally arrives, but he holds them all hostage by threatening to turn them all into toads!
And by that he means turn 2 of them into bullfrogs. I think they're bullfrogs.
They might be something else.
Point is, they're probably not toads.
Hooray for nitpicking!
Warwick runs away again, and no one but this small boy runs after him.
They send the Bloodhound after him too! That makes everything better! So Warwick is about to complete the spell, but that's when the fastest sunrise in the history of ever happens, and it's too late!
Even so, the Hound turns the last puppy, Pip, voiced by Frankie Jonas, to stone, but doesn't manage to swallow his soul, turning Pip into... Oh yeah, and Warwick jumps into the mirror when confronted. Okay then.
Also, this part is really confusing. This guy looks up and sees not Casper, and then calmly urges everyone out of the building, and no one else seems to notice that he's there. Can they not see him, or are they just stupid? And quit touching that statue's butt, kid!
So then the sheriff guy condemns the house, because he can just do that, I guess. Also, I just realized that they left the fire burning inside.
This movie is setting a bad example for stupid children watching! Cut to the present day, and we see a really excited teacher and some really bored kids.
Probably the most realistic thing in these movies. These kids are all looking into the legend of the flashback we just saw, and here are the buddies, all talking about what they want to do tonight for Halloween.
You do a trick, and you're guaranteed to get a treat.
It's trick or treat, Butterball.
Even better!
'Cause he's fat!
For me, it's all about the costume. I can't wait to dress up.
Because she's girl. Also, I want to call this to your attention.
Favorite event of the year. Paws down.
Notice how Husky never speaks in those kinds of ridiculous puns.
'Cause they're stupid and dumb. A dog's paws are always freaking down. Back to the filthy, stinking humans. They all talk a bit about the freaking Halloween hound, and... we get the weakest jump scare since...
Thank you for that. Introducing... B-Dog, voiced by Skylar Gisondo. He's supposed to be the extreme stock faux gangsta yo type, but oh no, he's freaking scared of Halloweeny things.
And why are you afraid to go trick-or-treating tonight?
So yeah, this teacher is way too excited about giving exposition to kids about stuff the audience already knows.
Which could have been handled so much better had the flashback and the teacher's exposition been given at the same time, but no, that wouldn't have eaten up enough screen time, and coming up with content for your movie is hard. At one point, B-Dog's siblings rib him for how scared he can get, and he takes that as a challenge to go charging into the condemned house and incite the ritual to summon the Halloween hound. Keep in mind, however, that no one actually dared him to do this. This is all on B-Dog. B-Dog faux gangsta yo.
Also, no one looks at each other when they speak. It makes all the parts where the pups talk to each other feel very stilted and unnatural. This is why the CG mouth movement thing just doesn't work. Once again, it forces them to keep all the animals as still as possible, and that's not what animals do!
It would be like if I constantly spoke to you guys, keeping my head perfectly level at all times. Isn't this a much better way for me to give my reviews?
Isn't that normal?
Okay, we're dragging a little. Long story short, B-Dog finds the spook mirror, says Halloween Hound 3 times in front of it, meets Casper Dog, and then they all run away. All the while, his siblings were trying to stop him.
Oh yeah, this is Mr. Johnson. He's creepy. Next scene! This is Billy, played by, Skylar Gisondo, just like B-Dog. Makes it easy! He has a report due on Monday, which he hasn't worked on one little itty-bitty bit, and his teacher isn't shy about letting the entire freaking class know it. So he quickly fakes having a report on the Halloween hound.
Okay, class dismissed. Happy Halloween!
That teacher legitimately creeps me out.
I don't even know if I'll be able to go trick-or-treating tonight.
Now that's a disaster.
Fat kid joke! So yeah, this is Bartleby, Butterball's owner, played by Tucker Albrisi. He was in Paranorman and all kinds of other stuff for someone his age.
And usually as the token fat kid. That's gotta wear on your self-esteem after a while. So to gather up as much information as he can on the Halloween hound, they go visit Sheriff Dan.
Yep, that's the one.
He's an idiot. And he's not funny. It's really annoying seeing people fail at making funny pratfalls in their... I hate you.
So they find a bunch of files and a 70-some-odd-year-old allegedly magic wand, and Billy asks to take it with him to use in his presentation. The cop tells him that it's a bit too dangerous and that...
What the heck?
Or it can be a complete, total dunce!
We're wondering where you pups went.
Minding your pets is for losers.
If we don't get ready for trick-or-treating, we're not gonna maximize our candy potential.
Fat kid joke! Now pay close attention, kids.
If there's one thing that bad kids movies have taught us,
It's that parents are idiots.
I gotta get ready for trick-or-treating. Did you pick up the costume?
Oh, I sure did. You are just gonna be the cutest little hip-hopper out there.
Mom, I said hip-hop rapper, not hip-hop rabbit.
It's funny because parents are horribly out of touch with their children's lives.
Are you trying to completely ruin our street cred? I'm sorry, we cannot wear these.
Billy, you two will look adorable as bunnies.
Check it out, B-Dog. I present to you Warwick the Warlock at your service. I'm sorry, B-Dog, but it's really not that bad. Are you trying to completely ruin our street cred?
kid, you live in the suburbs and appear in the Air Buddy movies. You have no street cred. Lucky for him, he uses the staff to improvise a warlock costume instead.
Unfortunately for B-Dog, he's stuck looking like a cute little bunny.
A bunny can call another bunny cute, but when other animals...
Shut up, woman!
Also, I want to point out that this bit where Billy and B-Dog are interacting is actually pretty good. B-Dog's performance does feel sufficiently natural. That's what you can get when you're not bound by the constraints of that stupid CGI lip sync.
Here they all are, all ready to go out and trick-or-treat the pants off the whole neighborhood.
With the Halloween hound, I will control the world. Whoa!
Yeah, kid.
You are so not Gargamel.
Yes, my plan is finally coming into fruition. Now then, onward!
Anyway, what super important details are the buddies discussing now?
Does the B stand for bunny? This ain't no ordinary rabbit costume, dogs. It's a killer rabbit. And those things are the bomb.
5, Lisa, 3.
Okay, what about the filthy, rancid, puke-inducing humans?
There are healthy alternatives to sugar, too. My family is handing out homemade almond raisin granola. How cool is that?
Okay, no offense, but I vote skip Sam's house.
Yeah.
Me too. Me 3.
Oh, man.
Oh, kid. You are so ostracized.
Meanwhile, back at the spooky mansion, these two are bully characters from earlier in the movie. I don't know who plays them, and I don't care to look it up because they're barely important. They just sneak into the house when it's dark to steal stuff, when they suddenly run into Warwick himself, now freed from being trapped in the Phantom Zone. The Phantom Zone.
They're turned into rats, because they're idiots, and the Halloween Hound is free to roam the earth. Also, Casper Dog here has been trapped inside the house all this time, but when the baddies leave, he too can leave now. Because reasons. Shut up.
Get away!
Warwick, buddy, I know you're trying, but frankly, you're not Gargamel either.
I am the greatest scientific criminal mind this world surely has ever seen. Oh, yes. Also, go to DeviantArt and look up Tentacle Kitty. It's both disturbing and adorable.
This right here is Hoot, played by Ryan Stiles. You know, the only good thing about Treasure Buddies? How is he here?
Master, it's true. You're back. Yes, Master.
Son, I am disappointed.
Apparently, Hoot has been waiting for Warwick for the past 75 years. He's aged pretty well since then.
Once they all get a chance to see the outside world, and all the kids out and about in their costumes, Warwick is horrified because he thinks they're all real or something. I guess being stuck in the Phantom Zone for 75 years will turn you into a stupid person.
Casper Dog scares a small child, steals his costume, and tracks down the buddies.
Yo, if you're looking for a photograph, I ain't in the mood.
It never ends. Every time I think I've seen the worst of it, something far worse rises to the surface, redefining horror.
So here's the formula for any scene involving talking animals in this movie. They stand around, stock still, flapping their CG gums for a while, unless they're all CG, then they can move freely. And then when the scene's over, they all just up and run away. Next scene!
The human kids go about their trick-or-treating when they come across an address that Billy recognizes from his research. It just so happens that the creepy guy from the graveyard, Mr. Johnson, played by Rance Howard, lives in that very house. Oh gee, I wonder if Mr. Johnson is that kid from the flashback earlier.
Loudly do I wonder! The old man recognizes the staff and tries to grab it, but the script says he's too old and feeble to leave his front yard to chase after the kids for it.
So the pups run, stop, and talk again.
It's probably because B-Dog released him from the mirror. Oh, sure, dog. Blame me. It's you guys teasing me and calling me scaredy cat that made me do it.
They never dared you to do anything. They were trying to stop you, genius.
It's true. We have to take personal responsibility for our own actions.
You're not helping!
Warwick tracks down the kids, and right when he's about to take the staff...
Dead!
Not Gargamel concludes that he needs some sort of backup to combat such a powerful opponent. So he finds this guy, Mr. Carroll, dressed up as Frankendude and played by Pat Finn. Yes, he is one of the better parts of this movie, but he doesn't really matter, and I don't feel like wasting effort talking about him. Moving on.
The buddies happen upon a fortune teller dog named Zelda, voiced by Deborah Jo Rupp, because Buddha here, voiced by Charles Henry Wyson, is into all kinds of spiritual hocus-pocus stuff and would obviously know about her.
She suggests using a Ouija board to contact Not Casper to get to the bottom of things.
Hello? I don't think you're gonna need your Luigi board.
I hate myself for having laughed at that initially.
Ghost don't eat. There's no way for us to. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Bad joke! Anyway, he calls himself a friendly ghost. Seem familiar? And only now, 46 minutes into the movie, do we get an introduction to the buddies. Not a good time to introduce your friggin' cast, movie.
B-Dog, Butterball, and Buddha you already know, but there's also Mudbud, voiced by Ty Panitz, and Rosebud, voiced by Genevieve Hernelius.
Oh yeah, Casper Pip needs to go back to his body before sunrise or else he'll be lost forever. Because this movie needed more plot, apparently. Wait, did we ever really explain the plot?
Warwick wants to open up a portal to the Netherworld to fill this world with demons so that he can take over the world.
Of course!
That's when the Halloween Hound shows up to devour their souls!
Oh no, I'm stuck.
Does this movie even care about anything? Is it just me? Am I the crazy one here for expecting them to bother compose a...
This movie sucks!
We rejoin the kids again, and this movie is giving me a freaking headache. Credit where it's due, though. They are doing what any responsible children would be doing when faced with a crazy person. They find and tell an adult as quickly as possible.
Unfortunately, the adult they chose is Detective Dan over here.
On the way, they run into Billy's mom.
Billy, come on, dance with your mom. Woo!
Who must be a profoundly lonely woman.
Here's her reaction to meeting Warwick.
Love your costume. You're a wizard, right?
Someone get this woman a date already! Anyway, the kids find Sheriff Moron, and by now, Warwick finally realizes that they're not real monsters, but kids in costumes. Now that he can stop pulling his punches, what do he do now?
Transformius Monkius!
What in tarnation?
Monkey!
Boy, I hope the buddies are having better luck than the humans are.
Would this hound happen to be large and brown and with green eyes?
What in tarnation do...
No. Also,
Did someone steal Butterball's candy bag?
fat joke! Back to the kids, and I hate it when movies do this. Them, and them, then them, then them. Pick a protagonist already! Huh, I'm actually feeling better now. So they grab his staff while he's out and... or don't. You deserve every bad thing you get from now on. Oh yeah, remember that staff surfing effect? It still sucks. So blah blah blah, not Casper gets his body back, and I actually like this little exchange between Zelda and the Hound.
I can help you come from the dark back into the light.
I actually like the darkness. Now get out of my way.
See, kids? Not everybody's interested in playing the good guy. Meanwhile, the kids... back to the freaking kids! Mr. Johnson takes them all to this church he works in, and when Warwick tries to get at him... Whoa, how the heck does that work?
Evil like Warwick cannot enter the house of God.
That's right, now get off my lawn! So Mr. Johnson explains what's going on to the kids. Now then, just so we're clear, Warwick wants to take over the town with an army of spirits by opening a portal to the Netherworld with a crazy ritual that requires the souls of 5 puppies who just so happen to be siblings and sacrificing them to the gullet of the Halloween Hound on All Hallows Eve during a full moon. But he needs this magical spell book that Johnson has in order to make any of it work. Any questions?
The Nether what now?
They're dead.
Master!
So Warwick catches wind that the Halloween Hound has captured the buddies, somehow.
Those puppies will come in handy in more ways than one.
Things that sound dirty but aren't. Warwick offers his ultimatum to the kids. Bring the book or the buddies get it! Back at the castle, the buddies try to convince the oft-abused Hoot to switch sides and let them escape.
Yo, were you hallucinatripping?
Oh yeah, I remember that word from Treasure Buddies. We talk very little about anyone's personality in this movie, haven't we? That's because they don't have personalities, they have gimmicks. And at no point do these gimmicks have any bearing on the plot except for maybe Butterballs. Whatever, they convince Hoot that Warwick is a jerkbutt just in time for the Hound to catch him in the act and turn him to stone. Huh. Looks like the statue's made of floppy rock. And it's at this point that the movie has officially lost me. Time for the wrap-up. The pups try to run away, but that proves completely ineffective. Casper Dog gives himself up since technically he's all the Hellhound really needs to complete the spell. The Hound eats his soul. They escape using a secret passageway. The spirits of the Netherworld are really crappy special effects that take over people's minds. The humans arrive. Great, now you got me doing it. Tee! That effect is still terrible. He should be dead, but isn't. The book they gave him is actually the Holy Bible and not his real spell book. They finally get the staff back. Him go boom. The buddies hide in the kitchen where Butterball starts eating eyeballs. Fucking joke! B-Dog comes up with a plan that involves sitting perfectly still like they always do and having Butterball fart the evil cloud back at... oh, screw this. The bad guys defeated, everyone's better, and movie's over. The end! Well, there's one thing I can say about this movie. It is really, really phoned in. After this, don't expect me to look into any other Air Buddy movies because their failures all seem to stem from the same source. A complete disregard for effort. Oh, just make their lips move, that's enough to get kids' attention. Oh, just mug for the camera over and over. That's funny enough, right? These films epitomize the lazy attitudes of so many film companies in regards to children's entertainment. I understand that it's hard to work with a shoestring budget and a harsh deadline, but that's part of the problem. When executives care more about making a thing exist and selling it rather than making a quality product, you get garbage like this.
And so, thank you, Bob Show, for allowing us to mooch off of your superior popularity for a little bit.
And thanks for making us watch that festering pile of talking doggy-doo.
Well, it was either this or Vampire Dog. Thought so. I am the Kid Movie Ninja.
Say goodbye to the people, Tentacle Kitty.
Hey guys, time for another Patreon shout. Thank you, Jordan Mathis, Steve Sharp, and Craig Palmer. Continue being awesome, and of course, you can become a patron today with the link in the description below. And of course, always support and continue supporting our buddy Bob Show.